Hi everyone, you're watching Jana Effects, and in this video I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week for main pairs, important levels we'll have a look at, possible entry points. Also we'll have a look at the results of trades this week and where there could have been trades where we were doing. I was giving my screenshots as usual every day and it would have been guaranteed at least minimum 100 pips in profit. So it would be no losing trade at all this week. And from 100 pips, it could go up to 3, 4, even 500 pips. All depends where you move your stop, because you know the usual setup I have is closing half positions in 10 pips, plus minus, not minus, but plus could be with the spread, and moving the stop in the safe position, which you can choose like place it in the break even or maybe a little bit away, so you are risking the profit you already made, and also moving the stop afterwards behind the price, and as long as the price moving in your favor. And also we were using breakouts from the areas which I'm giving the screenshots every day, and also I gave some of my subscribers and other ideas with like pullbacks, how to use it, and how to increase even more the profits. So that's I'm sharing with you guys in my daily screenshots and obviously in the videos here. So if you want to receive the screenshots from me, you know, you can sign up, subscribe one of the membership, $37. It's very small. Like I'm saying, you can make it in whatever, like in a few minutes. Depends the lot size. And you see, like this week, it was no losing trade at all, which was perfect. And I'm still testing my EA. Like I told you guys, there are some new settings and it needs longer time, as I'm going to show you a little bit at the end of the video, just how I was placing the orders. It's not taking every pair. This is the demo account I'm showing you because I'm testing those new settings, and like one of the pair we still have in a recovery mode, which I'm trying to see how it's going to work out, and because it's too flat for a £0, we're still in that recovery. And so this week I'm saying, if you who like now Patreon, you know, it takes accepts the payments like during the month, but the best time to sign up of course would be the beginning of the month. So from the 1st of June you can already sign up if you would like for receiving my screenshots. Also you can see examples on my blog janafx.com, or in my groups you can join on Facebook, which is janafx, or Telegram also janafx. So you can see the examples. I was giving those screenshots for a few weeks before I made it membership and paid, so you saw the results. And also that EA I will be giving to the first, I don't know, I haven't decided yet, 25 or maybe 30 subscribers at the price of $37. And of course I want you guys to try it first and play it on demo accounts and see, maybe you'll find the best settings for yourself, because I will give you of course the settings I found which works better for me, but it's all, like I'm saying, in different situations the settings could be changed. I will show you this week. I will make some videos of doing back tests and a little bit more of testing and playing, and we'll be finally going into real account. You've seen me actually using it on a real account before, but like I was saying, I didn't have the same settings. This is the new settings built in to it. That's why they need to be checked, and I just don't have much time. It takes a lot of time because there's a lot of pairs, and it could be used on every pair because, you know, I'm finding the best areas where to place the orders, and then it picks up and continue with the trade. So that's why it's possible maybe you guys will find which pair would be better to trade with some other settings, so you can do so, because like I did only some tests on euro dollar, for example. So that's why we will do all of this. So that's what I'm saying. You can sign up. It's patreon.com/janafx, and at this moment I only have that one membership. And then of course, like I'm saying, after we will get so many people, there will be more feedback to see how you like the EA and how it works. And also we'll be increasing the price on like I'm saying, it's not mine, that's why I can't control it fully. That's why I have to have an agreement with the programmer, another person who works with it, and he only wants to do it for membership. So unfortunately, I'm not programmer, guys. So and of course, there will be also possibility if, for example, you don't wanna follow my screenshots, then it's possible would be just to rent an EA. So and there is also, if you join, it's not just my screenshots, there are also some signals from another trader, also a Russian trader, and you can actually see his results he is doing through my FX book, and that's you will find his my FX book, and that's the address. Okay, so how to find him, and to see, maybe you would want to follow some of his signals. He is using completely different strategy, so I just want to tell you this is not my strategy, and he's trading on real account, but he's trying to do very small lots, so because he's used to trade very professionally, and now he's trying to do it for a smaller accounts, more reliable. So you can see, try, and of course you can always welcome to give me feedback if you what you like, what you don't like, what would you like to be added, maybe some of your ideas, what you want to see. So it's all possible, you know, to have a chat. So, and maybe in the future we will be doing some webinars, like I will make some videos and explain to you the other things if you're interested, maybe like the trend lines and how I look for all the things, looking for the areas and what I do. Well, except you already know, who follows me a long time, you all know exactly what I do, and I think it's quite pretty straightforward. But let's just have a look. This is a little bit of results of this week. You can see it's just I was placing very small lots, like 0.3, 0.2, 0.6, 0.06. You can see this. This is just a very part time. You see, it's not full time, and that's the results could be done. You see this week, like I'm saying, no losing trade, and I'm just showing you. This is the pound, euro pound, which is still floating. That's why I'm in the recovery mode, which, like, you know, I could have just closed with stop and just forget about it, but I want, this is recovery mode is the interesting feature. It's just, you see, the pair is just stuck a little bit, and in a very long consolidation, and that's why it takes longer, I guess. So we will see how it come out afterwards. And now let's just start with usual technical analysis. I will give a summary, the view of the market for the week, and of course everyday screenshots will be in the membership. So first of all, don't forget about the news, as we know that it's US and China trades war is still in the air going on. There will be quite a lot of news this week, so check economical calendar. Also Brexit in the air, right? So we have news with pound, and where else? That's pretty much it. So, you know, with the trade wars in America, it's more attention to like gold and people trying to buy more of the like metals, gold, silver, and also like yen. So, and that's why you'll see in those pairs a little bit more movements this week, and which, like I was explaining also and warning you about previous week. So it's nothing's changing this week. Is also all this news. Just follow these political events. I'm just telling you so what you need to follow, pretty much. Okay, so we're starting with euro dollar, and as you can see, this I'm gonna tell you. This is where we go. We had I had all the areas exactly the same. This is where we had, you see, our first trade in here, and that was our another trade. So that's pretty much two trades for euro dollar from exactly trade areas, and you can see now the pair moved back in the same area once again. So the first possible entry point, I will be looking around this area, and of course after it moved from here, we will see where it's going to go, either one way or another way, and all the same levels are going to stay and used for this coming week. So that's pretty much it. You see, it was quite easy with euro dollar. Now we're looking at pound dollar. Is also, you can see I have put it in a little bit of the downtrend channel, and with movement here. You see we went down, then consolidation underneath the orange area, which is that's where we looked at. That's where we had our trade here, and then it's had the consolidation a little bit around. This is the area I pointed out, and today we had another trade here. So you see that's pretty much how I do it. I'm showing you the areas where to look for the trades. And so now pair is came into, well, pretty much, so I will be waiting for this coming week. The first possible entry is looking around this area, so maybe the pair will go in, and of course the more narrow it is the better, because there will be enough space to go back here, and quite a lot of to go back, continue the way down. So of course it's been a very long run, and it needs a little bit of correction, but because of these political events, you know, there will be election in UK, yeah, for Prime Minister. So, but it's what, after 7th of June, sometime, so next week. This week, maybe it will have a little bit of recovery, maybe it will be a little bit more consolidation, maybe it will go a little bit up, and correction, I mean, and consolidation. That's quite possible before the possible bigger move. So bigger recovery move, or maybe it will continue the way down. Like I'm saying, doesn't really matter. As long as we have our areas, we can place the orders pretty much both directions. Sometimes I'm telling you, place the orders only one direction, where I see it more practical to do it one direction, we can do so. So that's why in here, waiting for this first area, and then it will be exactly the same areas like we had here, the orange area, and is one of the possibilities of, because we need some recovery. And if not, then of course the way down, the next level we have from the previous bigger time frames. So now going to Australian dollar, well, obviously it was no trade at all. I had orders, and nothing happened, and because I placed in orders 20 pips below, 20 pips above, you can see it saved me from getting into this trades. You see it started to break out a little bit, went up and break out again, so was no trade triggered. And now we're just waiting for the same area, so possible it will try to break out this coming week. So because there will be lots of news, so all possible. Okay, so now we're going to dollar yen, and also with dollar yen, remember I had an open trade from Friday. It's closed sometime in the middle of the week. Then we had another trade here up, and you can see where it stopped pretty much in the area where I pointed out, and then we went down here. So it was possible to go for another trade. So it was a small consolidation in my highlighted area where it went down. You can see here, well, I had small consolidation here and continued way down even more. Of course, I was expecting the possibility to have a little bit stop a bit more, but it went further. So now, of course, I would wait to consolidation around this area. So like I'm saying, you see, you could have just take 10 pips, right? And then move your stop, and then just move it behind it at a safe area. Like I'm saying, it depends. You could have taken minimum 10 or continue and could get more. So it depends how you move your stop, but you have guaranteed 10 pips profits. Okay, so it's pretty much guaranteed this week. So, and yeah, so now I'm waiting. That's the first area for consolidation in here. If it will not jump out, of course, like I'm saying, all I wait is for, after all these movements, consolidations or corrections, or continue the way, but of course we prefer to wait for some consolidations. And of course it's been moving down for a very long time. We still have a gap which didn't close, but like I told you, it might take weeks to close it. It can't close straight away. In this situation it didn't, because obviously, you know, with the trade wars, right, between America and China, that's why everybody is trying to get into safer currencies, right? They buy in yen, they think it's safer than buy dollar or even euro or pound. Is definitely not this moment with all this news. So that's why people going into like yen, for example. So that's why we still can, even though it's been quite a long run down, and everybody will be just waiting any moment possible correction. But with all of this news, every correction will end up with going down again, selling dollars, right? So that's why we're waiting for this area first, possible next back to this area, and all the same levels we have going backwards and going down. If we will look on the bigger picture, we will see we have like next one of the levels, right? So that's where we go, and then another one, which is from an even bigger time frame. You see that now we need it, we're using it. So we have these bottoms. So this is where it can go further. and probably we'll have a bit of consolidation first before, again, with the news, it depends, it might break and go even further down, right? And we already had here a wing, so it's quite possible it can continue the way. But of course I would have expected first maybe a bit of a correction and then continue the way down. But it's all will depend on the news. You see, news break all the analysis. But like I'm saying, doesn't matter. As long as we have our areas, we are perfectly fine. And as long as it moves enough, at least 30 pips we need plus spread, we can come out with at least 10 pips profit. So, and that's what I'm saying, don't try to get everything, don't try to go for big profits, like, you know, it's better to walk away with small than, okay, you may be lucky now, maybe lucky again and again, and then you end up with a big loss or big floating you don't want to. So that's why aim for small and get what you can. What we have, dollar Canadian, we had the same, right? The small area here went up to this area, and then it's consolidated. Okay, this time it went up again, so this is your one and another trade. So perfect, again, all profitable trades. And so it started to try to get out. Remember, we have a very, very big flat channel, and said I didn't like trading dollar Canadian at all. So for me, it would have been no trades anyway, but the screenshots I was still giving you for that pair, and you see you could have two winning trades in here. So, and yeah, so now it just, again, once again, we're gonna have waiting time. It's kind of looks, maybe it will end up like a bit of the head and shoulders. You see on the bigger chart, could be, it will go down maybe. Another, or it could be a triple movement, 1, 2, 3, third step, finally reaching the area. Again, depends the news, right? We have some news, dollar and Canada, American Canada also have some things between them. So, and yeah, so that's also could be any movements, any direction. So we're looking at this area first. Of course, if it will go in back in there, we'll be using also the pending orders using that area. If it will go up, of course, we'll be looking at that level. And if it will go down, then we'll probably be in this area looking better. But at this moment, it's just a bit of the waiting time, as you can see. So it's possible, like I'm saying, it can possibly continue the way up. So, but this is the first area to look at. And now we're going to gold. And gold had, you see, a good rally, obviously, based on all of this news. And we also had a few trades. If you would follow, here we had a sell. You see, some people would have just buy and wait for that movement. So, like, a lot of people were buying like from last week and here. But you can see before that, you could have sit and just float, which depends on the size of your account. Of course, you can do that if you can hold it. But we just did what? We sold once, and then had a pullback, sold again, and then we had a consolidation, and we bought. So it's like a win-to-win situation, isn't it? Instead of sitting and waiting, floating when it goes up or goes down, we're just going into the every possible trade and get profits. Okay, so that's, I think, good idea, right? And so, like I'm saying to you, in here we had a consolidation just before American session, just like I was saying. And that's where we went. And then again, if you could have moved your stop, so guaranteed 10 pips here. But on the gold, it's a bigger, like I'm saying, it's always plus spread. So you go for a bit bigger profits, bigger entry points, and closing half positions also a little bit bigger. And then you could have just moved your stop behind in a safe position and continue. Who knows? You could have get all of this. Depends how you moved it. But minimum, it would have been 10 or 20 pips is definitely minimum. So, and what now? Well, of course, once again, it's nobody will tell you. If the news, it will continue rally. Technically, it needs a little bit of correction. And the first area to look at is here. It's right on top of this level now. Of course, I would wait for some consolidation again, like we had in here and here and then here. It's everywhere. It's pretty much, it gives us the areas. And of course, it would be possible to see what's in the news, what's in the air. Doesn't matter. Placing pending orders again, one direction. and another direction is a continuation or possibly for correction. And like I'm saying, if it's still going to be this uncertainty with America, China, who knows what else is going to be coming out there, some people might just would wait for this correction and then will be trying to buy it straight away. So every time it corrects, people will be trying to buy it and buy it. So of course it might not have, if it will go down, for example, might not have any good consolidations or longer consolidations. Like I was saying, I like longer consolidations now because of the situation. It might be just small consolidations, but I always look into a possible, if it's not consolidate before European London session opening moves during Asia, then we're looking for some consolidation before American session opens, okay, for the possible entry point. So that would be, you see your bottom and you could get the trade. So waiting for this now, who knows if it will go up higher the next level, even further if it will go. Let's see the bigger picture. Of course, that's why we need the bigger picture to look at. You see it's a quite strong level in here. We had a wing, so it can possibly be the same wing jump, and it can return. Obviously we have next level out there. You see all of these levels and another level, so it can go all the way up and afterwards only have a possible correction. Okay, gold is that, like I'm saying, it's very tricky to trade, and it can go all the way without corrections or consolidations. It can go and do the things. So that's why for us, looking for possible entry points, we just wait for this small consolidation around our areas, and that's it, placing the orders both directions. So euro pound, well, obviously it was all the way. I'm having the recovery still to look on the EA, and it was a trade here. I didn't point out, I wouldn't go for it because yeah, okay, it's, if you would go for it, it would have been another small profit, but for me it wasn't good enough. And now I can see it started to get out a little bit. You see it's a little bit high, so I'm just still waiting for closing the recovery, so I need a little bit more movement up. So that's on that, what could be done. I mean, this is a very wide channel, and of course it's possible to just place the orders and to see how far it is. You see we have, it's like nearly 50 pips, like 45 something, and see how far is it to next level. So it's about 70 level. So obviously if you have the whole width of the 40, 50, well, let's say 60 is a stop, and then you go slightly above buy, and then you go for that 70 or 80 pips possibly, then so you're risking, like, let's say 70 trying to get 10. It's quite possible, but it's too wide. For example, I would just stay away from it at this point. And because you see euro and pound, they're going quite pretty much in the same direction at that moment, at that point. I think this week it's also a little bit, we still don't have certainty with the pound election, right? So that's why it still might have a bit of consolidation around it. Maybe it will go a little bit higher and reach that level, maybe, or maybe it will just go and continue in here. So that's what I'm saying. It's possible if you won't risk it. I think the other pairs have given more possibilities than this one. Of course, after such a huge movement up, the first thing would be expectation of correction, right? I was waiting for it like anywhere here, and it's haven't happened yet. So that's why it could happen. But at this moment, I don't see a good entry point possible. So let's see if it will go there, and maybe it will be something nice in there. If it will actually finally break out from this area, I mean, okay, it's possible, let's say if it will go back, I was saying, and start to consolidate around this area or something, then it would be possible place order sell from that level and see if it will go to next level, right? So technically that would have been a good picture for correction waiting for it, but because of all this news in the air, at this moment I don't see a good entry point. So, and you see usually in such long, when it's in such long consolidations, like it was dollar card too, you saw, it can go any direction because it accumulated enough energy. So now it's enough energy. Here we were waiting for a possible correction, though it decided just because of all of this news. With euro and pound, not much of the different news or strong news for one or another. There will be news this week also economical, so maybe there's some movements will happen finally. So, but this moment, this is the picture. Okay, pound yen also with the, you see all through this Brexit of pound and yen as a safer pair, had good entry points. We had a very nice CC channel here. There could have been a very small little trade. If not this one, this would be the next one. And we had a pullback in the same area, and that would have been another nice trade. And again, guaranteed at least 10-20 pips, and who knows, going further. So, and now, of course, it started. You see where it stopped at one of the levels which I had previously from the previous areas. So, nothing new. If you watched my previous technical analysis, you would see all of these levels, and you see how pairs are moving between the levels. And so now I'm waiting for this is the first possible consolidation and possible entry point looking around this level. And then who knows if it will go back, or let's have a bigger picture now to see what can happen if it will go in the other way. Continue, okay? If it will continue, because you can see it's been dropping quite a lot, so it needs a bit of recovery. But if it will continue, we have another, you can see level. Of course, it can stop somewhere in the middle, but this is now channel. We try to put it in the channel. It kind of does look like, and maybe it will touch that and then turn around to give a consolidation. Maybe it will go down here. We had a wing, so it can go down here or even go further just below the wing, next level. So you can see all the levels from the previous trades in the previous and bigger time frames. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's my overview and important levels which I have for months already. The same levels, nothing's changed pretty much. And yeah, possible entry points, important levels, important the main pairs. And if you like the video, don't forget, of course, subscribe, like, don't forget, join. It's the beginning of the month, the good time to join for Patreon if you would like to receive daily screenshots. I'm giving screenshots with a bit of description, what I think, which way is better to place the orders, one direction, the other direction, or both directions again, where I think it will go, possible increasing take profit, and which next level it might go. So you are welcome to join, and well, happy trading, and I'll see you next week. Bye everyone.